So, quick disclaimer before this week's podcast. Unfortunately, Philadelphia Union Memes, who's one of the three other people on this podcast, had technical issues from the beginning, so he wasn't able to talk. So it's just me and Philly Union Network and DoopCentral. Hopefully, he'll be able to figure it out for the next podcast. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know because I did intro him and he isn't in the podcast at all. So yeah, enjoy the podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the DOOP Chat Podcast. Again, we have a pretty packed schedule as we're recording this on Wednesday, and it'll be out on Thursday, which is game day for the Union playing against Sporting Kansas City. So today once again, we have Martin or Philly Union Network.
So,
And then we have two new people this time. We have Philadelphia Union Memes on Instagram.
hi.
And then we have DoopCentral on Instagram.
Hello.
And their names all be in the description. You guys should all follow them. They're support all the Union pages. So our first topic is similar. It's going to be a similar format to last week. So what were you guys' just initial thoughts on the Union versus New England game?
We didn't play our best against New England, just like we did against Orlando. But we did play better with Martinez back, honestly.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. If I'm being perfectly honest, and I think you guys would agree that I don't think we deserve to win that game.
Yeah,
But-
no.
Yeah, Blake
But-
saved us yet again.
Yeah, it was weird because I thought we'd play a lot better. I mean, we did play. Yeah, go ahead. We did play better with Martinez back in the game, but it was still, I don't know. It felt really similar to the Orlando game, except we won this one. Because before we scored the goal, we were also being dominated completely to start the second half.
Sergio fluffed that one shot in the first half too. He was like 1-on-1 in the box.
Oh yeah, he took that one way too early. I remember that. I mean, I guess it was his instinct, and he made up for it with the goal. But yeah, the first half was like the way I saw it. The first half was kind of even. Teams are filling each other out, and the second half, New England started pretty well, and they kind of dominated us, and we just were able to capitalize on our one chance, and then pretty much New England from then on. And I mean, they were pretty close to scoring a goal at the end. I'm not sure if the ref should have given a corner or whatever. People were talking about that, or that was what Bruce Arena was talking about. But I don't think we deserved to win, but we did win. And I think we're a better team than New England. Maybe it just wasn't our day, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Yeah, me personally, I think if Hill played, then we would have lost, I think, because he was like a huge part of their team. And them losing Hill really hurt them. Like, Gustavo Ball can't really do it alone. And they didn't have enough firepower for me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it showed with they weren't really able to finish.
Yeah, we're lucky that we won that game, honestly.
Yeah, it's not like I think the boys are confident, but it is obviously not good putting confidence in the fans after that performance. At least
Yeah,
not me.
Play like that tomorrow.
I really hope not. It's just yeah. I mean, I think we have the potential to beat literally any team in this tournament. But the last game, that team would have lost 3-0 to Sporting probably.
Yeah, I'm not confident we can beat Kansas City. I predicted that we would lose to them in our bracket, so I'm gonna stick with my prediction because I'm really not confident. Yes, they drew Vancouver, but still, they still have a good team.
Yeah, so for most people probably know, the Union's next opponent is Sporting Kansas City. They drew 0-0 against Vancouver, which went to penalties, and literally Vancouver only was in it because their goalie made literally 20 saves. It was literally absurd. Obviously my bracket was completely biased. I had the Union to win, but
Yeah.
if I was picking non-bias, I'd say I would pick Sporting to beat us. Unfortunately, obviously we'll get on to Sporting against City and talk about their team more, but yeah. So I think that's our first thoughts on the match. So obviously we weren't impressed by the performance too much, but what besides Demontre Blake, obviously, what player impressed you guys the most? Anyone of you?
Brennan Aronson for me, or Jamiro Montero.
For me, it was Montero. I remember reading he had an assist, 48 of 53 passing, 3 chances created, and he led the team in touches, pass percentage, and chances created.
Yeah. Someone else for me would be Mark McKenzie. Like, he had a great game as well. Like, he's very underrated for me.
And for people who didn't see yet, Mark McKenzie and Kai Wagner both made the team of the week, which was announced a few hours ago. Yeah. I would say McKenzie. My player, I want to say Santos, but honestly, besides from the goal, he did fluff that chance earlier. He wasn't too impressive. I would say Montero probably, besides from Blake, obviously, but Montero, I'd probably say, because we were talking about this a few days ago, that Montero didn't have a good start to the tournament at all. And he's someone we spent a lot of money on, and he has a lot of pressure on him. And, yeah, I thought he was pretty impressive, to be honest.
Isn't he a record transfer as well? He cost like $3 million, and he's our all-time record signing.
It was Fabian, and I think he blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
Which obviously he was a way better transfer than Fabian, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I would say Montero.
Yeah, he's done really good this past 2 games.
Yeah, and I mean,
and Jose Martinez should be in the conversation as well because he's been a warrior on the pitch.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Our midfield has been incredibly solid this tournament. I mean, It's like in the first game, Bedoya obviously scored the goal, and he doesn't really show up with that many insane plays, but he's so crucial to the team. Obviously, Aronson impressed the entire tournament, except for that one game that he was injured, which it's not his fault. He should have been taken out. And he's obviously being scouted by all the Bundesliga clubs. And Montero, we just talked about, and Martinez coming back is so – I would argue to say Martinez is the most vital player in our entire team. I mean, literally, you can see a difference he makes in that first half. I was saying it – I said it in the caption of my post, but you can literally see how much of a difference he makes, like, even in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say about that.
I'd still like to see Orvik get in the game though.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. Like, yeah, we spent a lot of money. We didn't spend a lot of money, but we spent a decent amount on him, and he hasn't played a regular season game at all for us yet. I know he played a preseason game, but I want to see him like in action for like an actual game, because I'm not liking how Carvalho is playing at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what Curtin said about that, but in his press conference.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that he and Cole Turner are like breaking into the team. I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
So like I don't think he's lying, but like it's been a while. It's been a while, and I feel like they should be like have enough.
This is similar of doing as well. Like, give him a chance. Why not? Especially since this game is not going to count for the regular season.
They should have enough. Yeah, he should have enough like fitness and integration in the team to play. Obviously Turner as well, but I'd rather see Orvik, which I think everyone would. But like saying that they're improving, but they're not ready. I don't know. We talk about this every time, and it comes up, which is fine. But we all just want to see Orvik. I want to see him, like just as a sub. I don't want him to start because that's Martinez's spot. But I don't want to wait till the season to see him. And it's not like there's a huge – obviously, talking about the tentative plan, it's not a huge break. It's about – I think it's 11 days till the break between the tournament and the season.
Well, it depends on how far we make it.
Obviously. Like, we'll talk about that later. But it's – yeah, that's true because the finals is way later than the other games. But we just don't want to see him. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, like why not see him against Kansas City, especially since this game will not count for the regular season. We have nothing to lose in this game.
That's a great point. So there. I mean, I think almost every player was really good. But if you were to pick one, who's the least impressive player?
I might be wrong on this, but probably Jack Elliott or Ray Gaddis for me.
Yeah. No, other than that, or Santos, obviously.
Yeah, Casper has been decent, but not as decent as I hoped he would be.
Yeah.
I want him to get for headers more on like crosses and stuff.
It's
like
like
really,
with Ray, if he would press up high, if he would like go up higher on the pitch, like we would be so much better.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. He's. I feel like, and even like the commentators were saying, like he's like standing on the like trying to take a corner when he's our tall striker. Should be in the box in that situation. Yeah, I didn't think he was impressive in the last game, but in the Miami game he was impressive. And in the Olympic game he was all right. And then what'd you say?
Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Casper.
Oh, Casper.
And then, yeah, I guess if I were to pick Gaddis, it's I don't know. It's hard to say. I honestly, when I say that, I don't think any player was like bad, like really bad. Even the team didn't play as well. Yeah, I don't know about Gaddis. It's just hard.
And Jack Elliott, like he's not bad, but he's not been as good as I hoped he would, honestly, as well.
Yeah,
like Mark McKenzie. Like I kind of want to see Glesnes in for Elliott, honestly.
This hasn't been the best tournament for Elliott, I'd say. But
like I kind of want to see Glesnes in for him.
Curtin likes Elliott, which is the problem. I'd say Elliott probably starts tomorrow. I'd say the lineup's probably unchanged, but I'd like to see Glesnes as well. But obviously, I'm not mad about Elliott in there because he can turn it on in a game. I'm guessing.
Yeah, like on his day, he's amazing, but he just hasn't lived up to how he played last season so far.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Well, I was gonna say I want to see Wooten get in the game too, because he doesn't really get any chances.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he subbed in last game?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but it was
he subbed in. He got subbed in like the 88th minute, I think. He didn't really get to play a lot.
Yeah, I think I saw. And that we were like playing at the back at that point, so he didn't really do anything. I think most people know this, but I'm not a big fan of Wooten at all. But as a sub, like for 20 minutes, I don't see why not. And
yeah, he shouldn't be starting at all, in my opinion. Just like Osinio, he shouldn't be starting.
Because I don't think Casper's gonna like really go out. I think I said this in the last podcast, but I think I don't think Casper's been subbed out. I could be wrong about that. I think just literally like every game it should have been. Well, obviously Wooten wasn't fit for the first few games, but every game it should have been up until like the 70th minute or something like that. We sub in Wooten for Santos, and then we do the Osinio sub and all that. And Wooten plays 20 minutes, so we have a fresh striker. I know he's not that good, but he's a suitable. Like he can play.
Yeah, especially since Corey Burke is about to come back as well. Like he's going to face a lot of competition as a striker. Since we also have Nagayana in there, even though he's not going to really be competition for other players, but still.
I mean, we don't even know what's going to happen to Wooten when Burke comes back. We don't know exactly when Burke's coming back. I hope that he's coming back for the next like regular season.
Because personally, I want to see Burke and Casper up front and have Santos on the bench, honestly, because I like Burke a lot.
I mean, we talked about it last week, but that would be insane. And even like a 3 up front. I think someone said this earlier. Even a 3 up front.
Yeah, like Santos, Casper, and Burke.
Like even that.
Santos as like a left winger, Casper as a right winger, and Burke up front. That would be amazing.
As much as Burke is a good striker, I think he's really good passing and playing balls through. At least from the games, like I don't know if he still has that, but I think he's the one who's going to set it up for Casper, and Casper hits it in. But yeah. So we don't need to talk about that for this long, but obviously at the end of the game, it was kind of like I almost missed it. I said Bruce Arena was shown a red card, which I'm guessing that would be applied to the first game of the regular season, which is kind of weird. But apparently he was complaining over, I believe it was that New England were supposed to have a corner. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the end of the game.
Yeah, it was like that.
It was something like that. It was like he wanted New England to have a corner in the end of the game, and it was a goal kick, and the game was over, and he complained and cursed the refs. So what I was going to ask is that, do you guys remember that play, and do you think he was right?
Well, I do think that was a corner. I don't think you should have cursed at the ref, for sure, no. But he does have a right to be mad, but still, like, he shouldn't be cursing at the ref. You shouldn't ever be doing that, because the ref did the right thing to send him off. Not being biased, but still.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's not much to talk about it, but it's pretty simple. He shouldn't have done that to the ref, but he was probably right.
Like, I agree. Like, I don't blame him for being upset, but the problem is that he's just like busting out curse words at the ref. Like, there's no tomorrow. Like, he shouldn't be doing that at all.
Yeah. In the same sense, like, I know it's a corner, it's always a new opportunity, but like, who knows if that corner would have even resulted to anything? Like, especially with how like we had all our men back, and I don't think it's worth like going after the ref and literally being suspended for a game.
Yeah, it won't change anything.
He wouldn't have got his way anyways. So.
Yeah, the game was the final whistle was blown, and there's no VAR for a corner. Like that doesn't really make any sense. Maybe he was in the heat of the moment. I don't know if he said anything about it. I haven't been following anything. I haven't seen anything on Twitter about it. So
yeah, and I said this earlier, but like, he's an experienced manager. He's coached the U.S. at the World Cup. He led them to the quarterfinals. He's a 5-time MLS Cup champion, I believe. Like, he shouldn't be doing that. He's an experienced coach. Like, for someone like Bruce Arena, that's unacceptable.
And you would never see someone like Curtin doing that. Like, I would never see him doing that.
Yeah, I've never seen like Jim Curtin like that mad, honestly.
Yeah.
Since joining the union.
Anything else out on that? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, so if I'm someone who thinks I don't think we need to make any changes, but do you guys think we should make any changes to the starting 11? But so we talked about Glesnes going in. So I guess that's the only change. So with the subs, you guys think what do you guys what subs do you think we should make for the next game?
For me, Elsinho, but I don't know who he should come on for because it depends on how the game goes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Vuton and maybe Orvets, but other than that, I don't know really. It just depends on how the game's going.
I think
those are 3 guaranteed for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we're winning, we'd bring in Craval or Glesnes. But like, if we need like a goal or something, I think we'd bring on Wooten or Elsinho.
Yeah, so I think I want to say sub in Elsinho for Aronson. I think that's what he's usually been doing, but I think Aronson is so key that I'd rather like sub in Elsinho for, I don't know, Bedoya or Montero and then switch the formation. But yeah, I'm saying Elsinho in for someone, obviously, and then I agree with you guys on Wooten. I think Wooten should come in at some point. And then what were you going to say?
I would prefer Orvets over Craval, honestly. If we need a new CDM, like, I'd prefer Orvets, honestly.
Yeah, I'm basing it off what Curtin said. It doesn't seem like he's going to be playing again.
Yeah. It's a shame. I want to see him play. We spend a decent money on him.
Yeah, it just sucks that there's a possibility. Like, if we're out next game, we won't have seen him the entire tournament.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I even want to see him, but Jack DeVries maybe, like, as possibly.
Yeah, we got him in.
There's 5 subs, so like I don't see any hurt by putting him in somewhere. He can play basically anywhere, I think. So like even like subbing him in at striker, like that, like he can play pretty much anywhere for Casper. I don't know. Do you guys want to see DeVries?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it depends on how the game goes.
I feel like
it's necessary. Go ahead.
Wait, what?
So someone was starting a sentence. I don't know.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying I feel like he has potential to be like the next Aronson.
I mean, we'll see. I think he's all right, but I don't know if he should really get subbed in. Maybe depends on the situation. If we're up 3-0, then yeah. But if it's a close game, maybe not. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much on agreement there for the subs, and I personally think the starting lineup will go unchanged, but I think I agree with you. I think that we should put Glezis in for Elliott, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts? Obviously, we talked about our predictions for the game pretty much, but what are what should fans know about Sporting KC, and is this the toughest team the Union have played so far in the tournament?
Well, they have Alan Polito, who's really good, and yeah, like he's been a very deadly player for them so far. Like I don't really know anyone else because I'm obviously not a Sporting Kansas City fan, but like I know that he's like a very deadly player for them.
Yeah, so watching
And Johnny Russell as well. Like he is also good. Like
yeah,
I remember 2018 Johnny Russell. Like he was amazing for them when they finished first in the West.
yes, I don't know much. Same with you. I don't really know much about Sporting KC besides from the main few guys. But watching the game, I got to watch the game on. I think I watched some. I watched the highlights of the game on.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
watched the
remember
whole
what day it
game.
was on.
Yeah, I
But,
watched the whole game.
so maybe you'll agree with me. But their attack is really deadly, and they should have won that game. It shouldn't have gone to penalties probably. And our defense needs to be sharp. It needs to be really sharp because as much as Blake is insane, like Blake is kind of bound for either a mistake soon or something. I think our defense needs to be sharp. Their attack's really good. I think we can pounce on their defense, though. I don't think it was as solid against Vancouver as it should have been. But if you watch the game, what did you see from that game?
Well, Vancouver literally had no attack basically because Thomas Assault, our goalkeeper, he saved them every time basically. And if he wasn't in goal, then Kansas City could have won like 3-0 at least. You know, that's how good they were. Even though Gasol was like stopping every shot.
Yeah, so if I were to answer the question I asked, I mean, I would say that they are the toughest team the Union have played. I guess you could make a case for, I don't know, Orlando as the toughest team they played so far. That would probably be the only other case, but I think Sporting KC are definitely the hardest. And obviously, the more we go on in this bracket, it's gonna be that's a harder opponent. But
Well, I don't know. I don't know. In the semifinals, I think we'll get an easier team, regardless of who wins between NYCFC and Portland.
I was about to transition to that. So
Yeah.
if we look at the bracket right now, this is assuming the Union win. York and Portland are in the quarterfinal on our side, and they're playing on Saturday at 10:30.
Tomorrow. No, we're playing tomorrow.
I'm talking about the NYC.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's okay. Yeah, so that we're playing on Thursday. They're playing on Saturday. So I guess if we win, we won't know our opponent for a while. NYCFC, they've looked really weak at times this tournament. I personally don't think they deserve to move on. And I made a stupid prediction so they would lose 4-0 and they won 3-1.
Yeah.
So I'm not obviously we've struggled to get a result against them. We all know that, but we beat them this tournament and I'm not too worried about New York. And then with Portland, honestly, they barely got by Cincinnati. They have some really good goal scorers and they're a good well-rounded team, but it's hard to say. I think we have the easiest path out of any team left in the tournament. Just after we get past Sporting KC, I mean. But I think you have to agree with that.
Yeah, like with my predictions, I predicted Columbus and Toronto to get knocked out. I mean, to make it to the final, and they both got knocked out in their games. And I won 6-8, and the two finalists I predicted got knocked out. But I think we're on the easier side of the bracket by far. Like we can easily beat NYCFC or Portland should we make it to the semis. Like Portland does have some good firepower, but I think we're just a better team overall than them. And obviously with NYCFC, we already beat them. So, like, they're a better team now, but I still think we can do it.
Yeah, and even looking, I guess there's a few teams, Columbus now that are out. That's the team where I would have definitely predicted us to lose to.
Yeah.
Personally, Minnesota. I mean, I guess they could be a sleeper team. I picked San Jose to come out of that bracket, which is my prediction at the beginning of the tournament. Actually, I said Union versus San Jose, which I just thought about now. Orlando were on that side. I also picked them to win, but that was an upset. I feel like LAFC will probably win that game. And then if LAFC do win that game, we end up playing them in the final, assuming we're in the final. We tied LAFC 3-3.
Yeah, well, they had Vela. They don't have Vela.
Yeah, in the game, I think we could have won that game.
Yeah,
easily.
We played really good that game. I remember that.
Yeah, we just gave up. We just gave up early, like a few seconds after we scored with every goal.
Which luckily the Union didn't do that last game, but they've done that literally almost every game of this tournament. When someone
Orlando. That this happened against Orlando as well. When we scored, when Elsinho scored, they scored right after.
Yeah, which I don't think it really happened in the New England game. Maybe they had a chance, so it didn't happen as much. They didn't score, but literally almost every game in this tournament we've scored and we've slacked off, and they've gotten chances. The opposing team. It almost happened against New York. Obviously, that was a long time ago, so people might not remember. But there was plenty of times where we could have conceded New York, which I'm not scared of that. We could have scored against New York a few more times. But, yeah, I think everyone would agree that our side of the bracket is pretty easy. We got pretty lucky in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it from that. So our last topic for today, we're not going to talk about it for too long, and I'm going to pull up and try to pull up the tweet, but we're going to talk about MLS's tentative plan to return to play, which off the top of my head, all right, here it is. Give me a second. So they have a tentative plan to return to play. Here it is. So obviously the final of the MLS's back tournament is on August 11th. This story came out by The Athletic, by the way. Obviously the MLS back tournament ends on August 11th. So the tentative return is for August 22nd, which is 11 days after. And it's going to be at home markets with no fans. And I believe that each team is going to play 9 regular season games in each conference. And I think if it doesn't say it here, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think the playoff format is the same as it usually is.
No, it's not. 9 teams make it in, not 7.
Okay.
9 teams, not 7.
Okay, so there's more playoff teams, which obviously would help the Union.
Yeah, and Dallas and Nashville will play each other 3 times to make up for the games they missed because they pulled out.
Yeah, which is a good idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, Dallas and Nashville will play each other 3 times.
So this is, for me personally, this is what I expected. Something similar. I didn't expect it to come this soon. It's what I expected, and we can talk about the no fans for like a little bit, but me personally, we're not ready to have fans in stadiums yet. Even at a lower capacity, we're not ready. I think you guys agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'd like to go, but
yeah,
same with me. I noticed that the team hasn't had the intensity like they had when fans were in the stadium, obviously, because the fans provide energy, obviously, to the team. And obviously, there's no fans, which means no energy. So I don't think there should be fans in the stadiums, of course, but it would maybe 5% of the capacity could go, but I don't think it will happen.
Yeah,
not want it to happen either.
I don't want to crush anything, but I think this season will probably. They said they could bring fans in halfway through, but I don't think this season will be played with fans at all.
They'll probably have fans back next season. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that's almost a guarantee, but obviously, who knows with how everything's changing. I mean, this virus is changing so much they don't want to risk that, and I'm pretty sure there's no other sports in America that are holding fans.
Well, in France, they have fans back.
I said in America.
Yeah, but in France, I'm saying PSG had 5,000 fans at their game against Celtic.
It's I don't know. It's gonna be something they're gonna have to ease into, and I mean, probably starting with season ticket holders only, maybe I'd guess, at least for the Union. Yeah, but I think everyone would agree. No fans is a good idea, and I think the rest of the plans they announced, which this is a tentative thing, so it could change. The MLS's back tournament changed a few times with the teams dropping out. I don't think teams will drop out, but What are your guys' thoughts on like the home markets and how it's going to work? No bubble, home markets.
Here you go.
Well, I think it's a little risky. Like did you see how like baseball outbreak? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for people, I can explain it. So people don't know, baseball is doing exactly what the MLS is going to do, and they're playing in home markets. And the Miami Marlins, they had an outbreak, and it's literally the first week of baseball, so they had to have their games canceled for like 2 weeks, and I think it's probably going to be more. And it caused the Phillies to have their games canceled until Saturday, and then the Yankees, who were playing the Phillies, who were going to play the Phillies this week, their games had to be moved they're playing Baltimore like right now because the Orioles were supposed to play the Marlins, so those two were playing each other, and the Phillies game series with the Yankees is postponed. So that's the situation in baseball, and it's only been a week, and we know that NBA and MLS's bubbles have worked perfectly. Their MLS hasn't reported any positive cases in 3 weeks. NBA hasn't reported positive case in like 2 weeks, I'd say, inside the bubble.
NHL is playing in Canada, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
The NHL.
I don't know. I think they reported 0 positive cases as well.
Yeah.
So the not in home markets is definitely a risk. So yeah, you guys go ahead about that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know like how else would they do it with the MLS's back tournament almost done. Like I don't know how else they could do it.
Yeah, the only thing I could say is maybe like wait a little bit longer, but still like it's going to be a while till fans are allowed and everything's even closer to normal.
Like
But
my heart wants it back as soon as possible, but my mind is saying no.
yeah, there was also a report that said even in the NBA, like their like tentative plan, I'm putting in quotes, is they're ending their season in like, I don't know the exact date. It's about like October is when the finals is, and their tentative date to return for the next season in home markets with no fans was December 25th. But a report came out yesterday, I believe it was from ESPN, that said that they may do another bubble for the 2020-2021 season, which I don't think the MLS would do that. And I don't even know if the NBA is going to do that. But, I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. As you said, I don't think there's really any other option, personally. You guys agree with that?
Maybe they can play the regular season games in Orlando, I guess. Or maybe something like that.
Yeah. I don't really want it. I don't see any problem with another bubble, but definitely the players definitely voted. I guarantee you all the players would vote towards home markets.
Yeah.
And even better, you get to play your own stadium, your own practice facility. I guess that's better feel playing in home markets. I think everyone pretty much agreed that. I think the plan is good. It's risky, and seeing what happened to baseball is definitely scary. And as a baseballer myself, it's definitely not good. I just don't like seeing it at all. And just when it came back instantly, like there's already an issue, which we knew was going to happen. Like it's like, I don't think people that are saying baseball is getting canceled are like ridiculous. And like same people that were saying MLS is bad could be canceled after like 2 positive tests or after Dallas and Nashville pulled out. So I wouldn't – this is more towards baseball. I wouldn't be surprised if the Marlins pulled out completely like Nashville did. And that could happen in this as well, but obviously there's less teams. But I don't know. I'm rambling on. I think it's just risky.
I hope it doesn't happen though.
Oh, yeah, same. So this isn't on the agenda, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on, like, when the season comes back, which we're hoping it's August 22nd, do you guys think we should play the same lineup as we were in Orlando, a different lineup, different subs? What do you guys think?
I think we should stay the same, honestly. Like, we're playing pretty well with the lineup we currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And we played with a similar lineup last season, so I don't see why we should change.
I think it just depends on how we do the rest of the tournament. Like, if someone does bad or has a bad game, like if Elliott keeps doing subpar, I think Westmus could come in instead of him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, the only question mark for like this whole next Union season is Corey Burke, which we don't know anything about it. I tried to ask him multiple times in direct messages, and he doesn't really give me a straight answer. I don't even know if he knows when he's coming back. What Curtin was saying like about a month ago was he'll be back for the next season, but at that point we had no idea when the season was going to resume. That's the only change I would have if he comes back. I'd definitely put him up front instead of Santos. Tim just comes in as sub. I think everyone would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the same formation as well. I don't think much is going to change from coming back from Orlando. I mean, obviously it's a completely different environment, but there's no really reason to change the lineup. And I don't know if there's is there going to be 5 substitutions for the regular season?
I think there will be. I'm pretty sure there is.
There should be, but
Yeah.
So I mean, nothing's even going to change in that sense. I mean, even like I'm pretty sure the Premier League is keeping that for the next regular season as well. I don't know if other leagues are picking that up as well, but and then yeah. So anything else about the regular season? Anything else you
No.
guys can talk about?
Well,
I have nothing else.
now. We're in 4th place if we resume.
Oh yeah. I was going to talk about that. So if I can pull it up my phone right now. Obviously, the group stage points result in regular season results.
Yeah, we're in 4th in the East at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
which
pretty
is
sure.
huge. I mean, it's only a few points, but it's so huge. So for people who don't know, it's Columbus in first with 13 points. Toronto are in second with 9 points. Orlando are in third with 8 points, and the Union are in fourth with 8. And if you're confused, it's accounting to our previous regular season points as well. So 7 plus 1, we drew against LA and lost against Dallas. So obviously that's a huge boost. I think that was a great idea for them to do that. I don't know any other leagues that are really incorporating that, but obviously it's not as similar. But I mean, that's a huge boost. It's really just I think the Union can get into first and all that, but it's exactly like last season where we need to hold it. Like at this point with this team, they can literally beat anyone, like any team in the league they can compete with. Even like teams like LAFC, even if they have Vela, like the Union last year drew with them. This year they drew them again, and they probably should have won. So, I really with next season, it's going to be harder because it's a shorter season. But they just need to get a quick start and then hold that lead. We don't know their schedule yet, so it's hard to really preview the season too much. Besides from just talking about what the plan is, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna wrap this up. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. So this podcast should be out Thursday morning. The Union will be playing on Thursday at 8:00. I believe it's on ESPN. It's probably on 2DN as well. And yeah, I was gonna do a Q&A for this episode, but I was being an idiot and I posted a Q&A and I answered the questions on my own. So next week, I promise there'll be a Q&A for people to ask and we'll answer them on the podcast. And yeah, hopefully Union are out by tomorrow night.